Hello, it is Friday the 24th of June. Welcome to my new version of what used to be Friday Talks, Friday Chats. This one is going to now be called Reflections of Life, and I'll explain that in this video. I'm going to do an analysis here of these talks and other sermons that we put out, just so that you can understand what I'm analyzing and why I've done it. On this particular group, there are 80 people. And this talk that I send out every week has been opened more or less by about 72 of the 80. That means it arrived on their WhatsApp and they pressed it, but only 12 actually listen to it or view it. The rest press it and either delete or move on or whatever they choose to do with it. And that's not a criticism, it's just the reality. It means that 60 people received the message and then moved on or did whatever they wanted to do. And 8 of them aren't even aware that it's on their phone. It's probably still sitting somewhere with unopened WhatsApps. 5 people out of the 12 who actually did view it and listen to it actually responded to my question, which was, are the talks still helpful? Are they reaching anybody? Do you still need them? Thank you to those 5 people for your responses, because it helps me always to know whether what I'm doing is of any good or any use to anyone. There are also people who sometimes go away for a while and or something happens in their life, they're busy organizing a wedding or somebody's 21st or something. So maybe for a week or two they miss and then they come back to it. So I accept all that. But none of this is intended to put pressure on anybody. It is just so that I know whether what I'm doing is not a waste of time or is a waste of time. So the responses that I did get varied from, yes, please, keep them going. I look forward to them. I listen to them all the time. Through to other responses that said, I don't mind. I quite like them. If you want to keep doing them, I'll keep listening, but no pressure to do so. So out of that lot, I've had to do some thinking and praying. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue in a slightly different format. The first format is what you're looking at now under a new name. During COVID, people were desperate for anything that could give them hope, and that's how these talks began. I was determined to do whatever I could to keep the church relevant and present in people's lives, so that no one could ever say or think that the church went away. It never did. But life is life. And as things have opened up more and more, and as people have returned to their various activities, we get busy. We understand that. And we don't always have as much time as we did to sit and listen to talks and sermons like we did during the lockdown. Some people are less busy than others, and they have the time, and they still enjoy the input. So my thinking is that I will start a new group altogether, called Reflections of Life. And I will start the group off with those of you who indicated that you would like to continue receiving these messages. Anyone else who wants to be on the group can just click on this link and join the group by putting in their name. If they don't know how to do that, or just send me a private message and I'll add you to the group. That way, the group will be a lot smaller and I'll know who I'm actually speaking to. The messages can still be passed on to family members and friends if people wish to do that. My talks will be random and occasional, so it won't necessarily be every Friday or every Tuesday or any particular day. Whenever I have something that I think is really worth sharing or some experience that I think might interest others, I'll put it on this group. So every now and then you'll get a message that may or may not be helpful to you. I'll try to put the same effort into it, but it means that I won't have to block off a period of time every week for preparing and getting the talk nicely worded and thinking of particular topics to share and so on. They will be things that come out of whatever I'm going through or whatever I'm experiencing. But more than that, I've always said, and I'd like to say again, that if any of you who listen to these talks have experiences of life that you'd like to share, why not do it here? You can send it to me, or even just an audio if you like. And just like we did with the Advent words, I can always add a picture or something in the background while you share whatever it is that you're going through. That way, we will still be making something available for people who are interested without forcing the church on anybody who isn't really interested or is actually just busy. The same will go for our service sermons from now on. There is no longer any need to send out sermons from our Wednesday or Sunday services. Very few people actually view those. Sometimes the views are as low as 4, which means it is viewed by myself, who had to edit it, and then the key people who pass them on to other groups in the parish or the archdeaconry. So nobody is actually listening to those. And let's face it, all our churches have returned back to normal hours of worship. So people can go to church if they want to hear a message on a Sunday. For the moment, I will continue to pass on Bishop Luke's daily messages, but as with the others, if you aren't finding them of any value, please let me know, because then we can rearrange that group as well. So this doesn't stop anybody from sharing anything at any time, but our regular Wednesday or Sunday sermons are not going to be sent out anymore. And if anybody wants anything different to what I'm proposing here and feels that it is a great pity to stop the regular weekly ones, please contact me. I'm open to keeping it going. I'm open to keeping the debate going, because we have to keep feeling our way around life. What works, what doesn't work, what is still of relevance. So I hope that you will enjoy what I've done now and let me know how you find it. Now, my closing thought for today, there must always be something to do with the Lord. This is not all just about analysis and figures. Why am I even bothering with all of this if it seems like I'm flogging what is almost a dead horse? Well, there's a very good reason. In Romans 1:16, Paul says, "The gospel is the power of God unto salvation to everyone who believes." And in his second letter to Timothy, Paul says, "Preach the word, be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, encourage with great patience and careful instruction." End of quote. So, you never know who is listening, even to you. Wouldn't it be wonderful if something you or I shared led to someone else just rethinking their faith or their relationship with God, and maybe even coming to salvation one day? So we'll keep something going and let's see where it leads. Let me know how you feel. Send me some of your own input. I'd love to share some of your experiences with others. God bless and have a great time. Have a great week.